Hey,
Hello.
we are back.
Yes.
And this week we decided to do something more focused since we've been doing all the different letters. We don't want to rush it. And we thought we're going to stay with one letter this time, the letter M.
M.
Why? Because this video is about marriage. And we want to encourage everybody that marriage is the reason why we're doing this. But who is our maker? Ooh, who's the one that made marriage from the beginning? And what's the mission?
Or what's the purpose of marriage?
That's P. We can't put that in.
Purpose? Sure you can, honey. You can mix the letters.
No, it's all have to be M. And silly me, one time I played a game with my kids, older kids, adult kids, and we have to come up with a bunch of letter. And actually, the letter M was the letter, and it has to be sticky, and has to come up and as many letters as the letter M. And I came up with like 20 letters that does not make sense, like missile and money. And the kids, my kids just flip. It's just like, what is wrong with you, Dad? You cannot make this game crazy. And then we're laughing so hard.
But he made it work somehow. Somehow money's sticky. Somehow what? Missiles are sticky? Okay. Anyway, so we're getting off track.
Okay, back to marriage. M. We're going to say one word, M. Because that's why we're doing this. We want to encourage all the marriages out there, including ours, that marriage is really important in the eyes of the Maker, which is God. And here's Jesus is really in our picture, the best picture. He's our bridegroom, and the bride is His church. Even that last picture in Revelation, He put that picture not a party, not a dinner, not graduation. It's a wedding party. And He invited all of us to be in this relationship, this intimate relationship called marriage. And we have a taste of it right here on earth when we are married.
Yeah.
And so what we do when we are married, there's many things that we could think of. One of the words I've been learning from Cherish is the word mindful. Many times we guys are not mindful. We don't. Just be real. So we need to stop and think of our wives and be mindful. Like some ways are.
Our feelings.
That's one, feelings. Some activities, like what? To be mindful of. Since you're married, what do we take for granted for? Do you go on dates? Do you give her flowers? Do you text her every day? And do you get her a card? Valentine's Day is special for her, and so I'm learning to be mindful. But mindful is it's such a thing that is so small, but it could be so big.
I think if you can try in your marriage to remember what it took to try to win that person into the marriage relationship, that if you still have the mindset of, I want to win this person, it can help you be more creative and even enjoy it more yourself when you pursue your spouse like that. Someone's pursuing me right now.
We didn't silence her phone.
Yeah.
Oh well. So that's what happened. But mindset, that was a good way to look at it. Mindset is where basically, sorry, this is so distracting. We get so distracted with life like this, and we don't really realize that the mindset of marriage is the most important person is who's you next to. We get so busy with work, children.
Yeah, you get into routines and you don't consider the other person as important as far as like daily ways of showing that, I guess. But one thing I think with mindful or in our marriage, really listening to actually put action to the listening. It really makes each other feel heard and appreciated for the man and loved by the woman to truly be mindful enough to listen to the other person when they're sharing something that is important to them. And I hope that we can keep improving on that as well. I mean, we have overall, I think, an amazing marriage. But there's some things where even married a couple of years, you think, oh, I wish this could improve or something. And I think, number one, any chance that you have to get better at something, if you put the Lord first, I'm always going to bring it to God, because He can help give you the strength to do things that you normally wouldn't do, or He can help you be mindful when you're spending time with the Lord and you're praying for one another, which is really important. He could put things that might need to be addressed or things like that into your mind and help you to be more mindful of each other. I remember just reading scriptures on one thing where it says we should be subject to one another out of reverence for Christ. So obviously He's placing a huge emphasis on one another.
So I want to kind of reel this in as I'm listening to Cherish, like, what is really the mission of marriage? Why do people get married? Love, of course. That's the first thing. People always think marriage is because I'm in love.
And they don't want to be alone.
Yeah.
That's a big one, I think.
So, but really, is that it? I mean, when marriage is just for that, it's those are like maybe the beginning, the service, but really the deep root of marriage is what God created. And God created us because we are not meant to be alone, like she starts saying.
Men are not meant to be alone.
Oh.
No, I'm just saying women could be fine.
You're right. That's a possibility. But there's out there, I think it takes two. And see, a life is basically, you're not meant to be alone. I mean, community is important. Even marriages out there, they're lonely. Husband and wife out there are lonely. Yeah. And so...
Oh, wait, I take that back. We're not meant to be alone. Women are not meant to be alone. I think we say we'd be fine, but honestly, we all need fellowship in some sort. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, so I think marriage is to complete one another in not just the, bedroom stuff, but, I'm saying, but I think the whole person of seeing, hey, someone's really caring for me, taking care of me. Someone is really showing how to love. Someone is being kind. Someone's being patient. And all this growing together in life. And the thing is, hopefully, it's not just for us. It's that we could do this for others. The idea is, this is a picture of how one person starting here to love one another. But hopefully we don't stop there, because the idea is we want to love penetrate to show our, obviously the first thing, our children, but then other couples to say, hey, this is how marriage is supposed to be. Self-sacrificing, thinking of others first.
I think a marriage is definitely a reflection of the type of relationship that God wants to have with us too. He wants to have a very close, intimate relationship with us. Like, because I spend more time with Him, He knows a lot more about me than most people, which is awesome, because I'm sure He loves certain parts of what He finds with me. And it just is a closeness that you really can't experience with people that you don't live with, that you don't do every day with, spend the most time with. And I think the Lord really wants a lot of our time, because He loves you and He wants a close relationship with you, and He wants you to know Him, and He wants to know you as far as like how a relationship goes. And so I think marriage is probably the closest picture that you can get of that. And I think God really loves marriage. He blesses it because it does symbolize the oneness that He wants with His church.
That's it.
And so I think when you have a healthy marriage too, that it is a bright light in this world. It gives you a hunger, when you're around people, it gives them a hunger for that type of love, a close love, and it helps us to point people to the Lord, which is awesome, because we're like, wow, well, the Lord did this. He gives a greater love than anything you can imagine.
Definitely. Yeah. So we're honored to do these videos like this to remind us, and you, hopefully, what's marriage, the mission, and all that. There's so many books out there, as you all know, about marriages. But the most encouraging thing is that we have to be intentionally understanding that this is something that is beautiful. Marriage is beautiful. We want to invest. We want to take the time and we want to manage the time, and that this is important to grow. But it's not just gonna do it automatically. We guys have to initiate. We leaders have to date and find ways to even woo our wives and just show her kindness, love. And then on the flip side, I hope the wives, as they see that, they will be more submissive and more caring and loving and supporting the husband. And it's that beautiful growth together. So,
Yeah, I think marriage is so amazing in a way because it's actually good for you. And I'm going to say that because I think it's definitely a refining thing. And what I mean by refining is when you get two people who are not exactly alike and you put them in close proximity for a long time in a committed relationship, there's things that come up with each other that can point out things in each other that can use some improvement. And to be humble and open to change is a really good thing. And I think the Lord works something out in a marriage relationship that's very refining if you let it be.
that's humility right there. So, people always said leadership, but really the leadership is a servant leadership, one that serves, that cares, that provides. As a man, that's our role. Our role is to protect, provide, and if we don't, then how could the wife can trust and learn that he's the provider and protector? So, it is a very big subject, marriage. But the idea, we want to scratch the surface again, how important marriage is. Why are we doing this video? Is to encourage, hopefully, ourselves as we're talking about this. But it's so important that we can talk about it and put everything on the table. Whatever topic it is, I encourage you all to just put it on the table. And then we've been covering the A to now M. So many subjects. You can look through all the videos and just put one subject, just one subject. You don't have to go through all the videos. Just one subject, talk about it. Expectation, budget, you name it. There's so many videos that we just gone through. I think it's good to slow down and just kind of take the time to grow one another, but most important, with God.
And be mindful. I have sometimes, I'm a teacher, so sometimes I like to do play on words and things like that. And as the week goes on, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I like to put a word with each day. So maybe if you can think like that too, like when Monday comes, it could be Mindful Monday or Mindful of Your Marriage Monday. And let that weekly reminder help you to think how to keep things fresh in your marriage, how to keep things positive, how to reevaluate things in your marriage, and then also ask the Lord for help. Because he's the one who designed marriage, and if he's the designer, he's going to be able to give you the ideas, the strength, the love that it takes to improve your marriage.
So thanks for watching. Hope we can do this again.
Yes.
The next letter is M. Ooh, tough one, but thanks for watching.
Bye, guys. Have a great night.